What's up, guys? So I'm gonna be showing y'all how to make a external ESP. Yesterday I talked about TriggerBot, and that's cool and all, but this is this is the fun stuff. So you're gonna go to GitHub. I will have this link in the description for ImGui. Go to code, download zip. Please also remember not to be a fucking retard and get banned. This only works in dash insecure mode on your properties on Steam for CS2. So go in there, put the dash insecure flag, and you'll be straight. So you can this can work in game though. This is a perfectly fine program, but you'll need a bypass vac, which again, it's super fucking easy to bypass vac. Like, it's ridiculously easy. Takes 5 seconds. Handle hijack, I don't know, Google it. You got it. I trust. Once you have that downloaded, you're gonna go to Visual Studio, empty project, name it whatever you want. Alright, once we're in the Visual Studio project, go up here to show all files, click that off. And if y'all don't know, the reason I do that is because these files on the default ones with the little, they're not actually files, they're filters. So like in your project solution, or in your project directory in your files, if I were to add a main.cpp and source files and then something else in header files, they're not technically separated. They're still all in the same shit. So we're gonna close those and actually make a new folder. So we're gonna make a source folder. We're also gonna make a ext folder, and then in that we're gonna make a ImGui folder like that. In source, we're gonna add a math folder and also a mem folder. Last folder, we're gonna add an offsets folder and main.cpp. Once we're in here, we're now going to go back. Make sure you save this. Now go to your ImGui. Once you have your ImGui folder open, you're gonna get all of these from config to imgui.cpp. Drag those in, and then go to backends. Scroll down. You need to get win32.cpp. Where's it at? Win32.h. Impl dx11.h. Then dx11.cpp. Need glfw.cpp. Same thing, glw.h. And then impl open gl3.h. And you should be good for all those. So you can just close out of that, close out of this. Back in our project, you want to go up here and click refresh, and right click on the ImGui folder and include in project. Now you want to go to your project properties. Alright, now then you're gonna go to the language standard, 20 plus, go to advanced, make sure this is Unicode, go to C++, VC++ directories, go to your include directory, and then click the file button and go to your ImGui, select folder, and include that folder. Linker system, that you change this to subsystem Windows, because we're making a Windows application that will be layered over your game. It's not a console. And then go to input, and then you want to go in your additional dependencies and copy these down: d3d9.lib, dx9.lib, and 11.lib. So these three, and then OK, and then all options UAC. Like the last video, we're gonna set this to require administrator. Apply those. Then also make sure y'all get your output at intermediate directory, just wherever you want the project to be saved in the build. And then make sure this is an exe, and that should be everything we need. And so with the Windows, we're not using the ImGui, we're using the Windows API, so we're going to use the WinMain entry point. So at the top, all of our includes. So these are all the basic includes you're going to need. Then we're going to include our mem. But yeah, also go to mem, add a mem.h, go to math, add a math.hpp, and then offsets, you're going to want to add a offsets.hpp. Back in your main, this should be everything you will need for includes. First, we're going to get the window procedure. So this passes in window, uint message, you're going to want to go, alright, before we do that, go to your ImGui and go to win32.cpp, scroll down, go to line 500 something. I'm going to copy and paste that, go to main, up here above it, extern, and copy that in. And then copy this in. That's what I was throwing in there. We're going to pass in window, message, W program, and number. Message. Rock. And pass in window, message. W param and L param. That is all for our callback. Now for our WinMain API entry. WinMain, make sure it's spelled like that too. We are going to pass in an instance. This one we don't need. And then a p string, then int cmd_show. Now just follow along in class use w no class c.tv sizable size of w that's style was yes_. Your class name can be equal to anything, just L quote. Like that. And then we are going to register this class and pass in a reference to our window class. Okay. Now we want to create our window. Window, yes, and you're passing the layered. Yes, it is a transparent. No, let's look at this. And then yes, layer. And next is going to be class. See class layer. Next is window, so you use reference. And then slide. And then the x and y 0, 0, and then the width will be 1920 by 1080. Parent, we're gonna pass in a null pointer. Menu, null pointer. Pass in our instance. And then another null pointer. And that is the window class. Now we're gonna set our attributes, so set layer windows attributes, age wind, pass in arrow window, RGB 000, because no transparent, window, byte 255, this one you can put that here because it's anyways, and then LPA and output, and that's it. Okay, after you've copied this, get some space, now we're gonna make the swap chain. So just copy all this, it's gonna be okay. So this is a basic one, so just this number is the refresh rate of it, so 60 FPS. That's all you really need. I wouldn't go any higher than it, but you can if you want. But you know, I trust you. You got it. Now copy this. Now we're gonna create the device and swap chain. Okay. Once you got the device and swap chain, copy this all in. Now we're going to show window. Now we're just going to create context. Stop code start. And ImGui restore impl win32 in it as a window. Control B and then change to DirectX. Well done. And we'll have the device and device context. Then we're going to make our running. So bool running equals true while running, and UI underscore equal DX11 new frame. Same thing except like we did last time, 32 new frame, and then UI off of our log. Message pass a reference to message corner 0u 0u and PM short move. We are going to translate message, reference message, dispatch message, and pass a reference to message. PM short quick. Sequence W wait. And then we're going to rocket learner, UI short cool. Go to rocket learner window. Then we're going to come down here, ImGui render. So then we're gonna do our cleanup stuff because this is gonna be running, and if running is equal to false, then we're gonna exit this and it's gonna correct shutdown stuff. So ImGui window, that's our window, and then publish class name in the instance, and then return 0. What is this error here? Where's this register class? Make sure you register class EXW. Oh, your rendering will be going in between these two classes. So this is everything you're going to need for mem.h. Copy this in, it's the same as last video. And then you're going to want to make a mem.cpp also, and copy this in. Again, you can use literally any memory class. That just, it's the basic Windows API read and write functions. Right here. And I'll type this out for you. So you're going to take a 3D coordinates and reflect that through a world of screen function to make them 2D coordinates on your screen, because your screen's 2D and the game is 3D. So if you just drew a box on the 3D coordinates, it wouldn't be even close to them. So you have to reflect that. I'll put a picture up of kind of how world of screen works, but just watch what I put. So int screen with now what you can do operators, is, type this first one out and copy and paste it down. Make sure you're aware of these right here, these operators, so minus, plus, division, and multiplication. And then also this is other and this is factor. So just make sure you use your fucking eyes. I'm believing you. Go ahead and copy that down. And now for the actual world of screen function. World of screen, and you're passing a review matrix. Go ahead and copy this in, make sure you get all the numbers right. And then if W is less than 1F, we return false. Pretty much if they're behind us. If they're not on our screen, we're gonna return false. Copy this in, and then we're going to return X, Y, and W. And at the bottom of this, we're going to define X, Y, and Z to get rid of this error. It's pissing me off. It's nice to have. We're going to have a struct vector 2, and all this is make sure you copy all this in. Go back over it. Review matrix, your operators, and then your world of screen function. And then go to the output. The two we're going to be looking in is client.dll and offsets.hpp. So just go in to whichever one and Control F, and then you can look up, for example, health or something like that, and copy all these down. So these are all the offsets you're gonna need. I'm pretty sure if you need to get more, we'll go back and check. So now right under new frame, clear up some space. And now that we're back in main.cpp, we're gonna go right above the while loop and get the process ID and shit like that. Like I said in the last video, I like to do message boxes, and you actually can't see out because there's no console to see out to, because remember we are in a windowed subsystem, so I would just use message boxes for your outputs. And then you've got these, then all goes over message box. Now that we have all those, we can get into our actual sheet. And we're going to read a new order and the blank plus our offsets of lookup. And if you don't get local player pawn, again, this is kind of like debugging wise. So, in your entity loop, you normally put continue here, but because we're not in the entity loop, we're not in the for loop, this is a while loop, can't really continue out of this. Visual Studio is not going to like it. So, it's not going to throw an error if we do that, but once you try to run and compile it, it's just going to fuck it up. So, again, I would just return a message box that pretty much says that you didn't get it. So then, let's say, so, if you're using this one day and, it's just really not working and this pops up, then you know that the offset's updated because the local player is not getting found. Again, we'll do the same thing right here, except for the ECOs. So now we have our local team, because we're going to compare the two entity team, and then, if it's not, if they're the same, then not going to work. Before we get the local team, we're also going to get the view matrix. So, view matrix. View matrix can be client plus. These are all the main ones we will need, and then we're going to start iterating through the entity list. Okay, so now we've iterated through the entity list and have our entity, and we're going to make sure it's on the same team. So, and if ent team equal the local team, then we're good. And now if we're going to check their lives with help is less than 0 or help is greater than 0. Now we're going to get the head and the view position. So, February origin. You're going to want to get the old origin offset. Go ahead and put that right in there. Old origin like that, and then February head equal to origin.x, origin.y. Origin.y and origin plus e plus 5. That's how we're also going to get our local position. Like these two places, and offsets. So also, we only want like root of head, so we're going to head 1, which is equal to head 1 as e, head as e plus 10. That just brings it up a little bit. So now we're going to use our so feet position is equal to origin dot well, train over as an hour meters. So head position is equal to head 1. Head 1 dot row swing has 80 meters. Boom. Now we're going to float our height. Then we are width for the float height equal to width is height divided by 51 full f. We can just make a function all the way here at the top and let x, y, int w, int h, color, and int. Also in our paragraph. So it's going to be pipe def struct u32 bar and c g b and then a color and then part b and then u32 color as an rp color and return all 32 or r g or the employer die. And for the culture, this function ImGui get background list add back now goes right and a 2 as y, other 2 as x plus w and y plus height and that's our color. You want to get rounding or flags and then fix. And that's all we need to do on so avoid y float x1 plus or y1 plus 2 or y2 and then RGB color and yes. And it's going to have to background raw list but we're going to add line vec 2 x1 y1 vec 2 x2 and y2 and our color and our things. And that's all you need for our render Nemesis. And now we're going to draw a rectangle. So render draw rect all. It's only about 400 lines of code. So if you got to this point of the video, good job. We're gonna build this. Guys, one more thing I forgot to mention. You don't need this glfw.cpp. So right click it, click remove, and then just remove from your project, or you can just delete it. And then also go to your project properties in input. And on my other project, I had those D11.lib for something else, but for this you don't need anything else. You just need d3d11.lib. So once you're done with that, you should be able to go in game. Two more things, sorry guys. So a few things, get rid of this, scroll up to the create window class, and this was set as layered, so it wasn't sitting over the CS2. So make sure to set this to topmost, like I did right here, and then that should be good. And then also one more thing, because we already are adding the height, just get rid of this. You can comment this line out, and you really don't even need this either. You can just straight put head into your world to screen function right here. But besides that, and here goes ESP, pretty basic. Yeah. So once again, please make sure you're launching this in insecure mode. You know, I believe in y'all again. Thank y'all so much for watching the video. Hope you learned something new. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got it working. If you have any questions, join my Discord and comment if you have any questions, and I'll try to help y'all out. But yeah, so have a good one, guys.